this change after the lucky thing. There's no doubt McBrien is the most reliable bowler, not just for the Warriors, reliable bowlers and others as well. There's Barry the greatest control. So Young was spat. Brian looking to take from him, great start for him. You just wonder, is McBrien trying to do it over here, get through on a power play? Through this power play, it's even more for Knights. Remember, good impressive stuff the Knights. I felt with being just early, they might have the ghost of some the opposite. McBrien will offer control. He'd like to be smashed around by you.
That's exactly what I'm sure. Protector and go. I'm just very happy with the way McCollum and Lawler have back down here. They've been in it. And really to put back on the north attack was what William McClintock get earlier. To great success in the first inning.
From Lover pitched again. And we've seen when the spinners go too full, it is easy. Thuds into the main. I'm turning that the injury for it. Really good start this from Lawler. The Knights right in the game.
Yeah, seriously, good batting from Jeremy Lawler. He was excellent in the IP50 series earlier this summer, showing himself off as a good T20 option as well.
Follows up the four down the ground with a punch single. So one of the two fielders allowed outside the circle at the moment. That's long on, but it's a slight change for McCollum. Obviously they feel McCollum stronger on the pun. The sweet to the square leg corner, more next side field from McBrien. Slower through the air, beautifully bowled, and good work from Craig Young. Fine leg. It's just single. Single quarter middle rail.
Good batting, especially from Jeremy Lawler. Just the left ball starting.
But then take some quick back and the Warriors roll over. That's the fish. Pull Sterling in the hutch. See, they feel McCollum stronger on the pun. The sweet to the square leg corner. 5-4 next side field from McBrien. Slower through the air, beautifully bowled, and good work from Craig Young. Fine leg. It's just single. Single quarter middle rail.
Good batting, especially from Jeremy Lawler. Just the left ball starting.
But then take some quick back and the Warriors roll over. That's the fish. Pull Sterling in the hutch. Even flow, just half an hour for the Young went 6 or 4-6-6. It's just changed the game, change the approach, change the mindset of the bowlers. Picture on the captain. Brings in him 7.
I think those momentum do. Anything don't change ends. He's not going to come from the pillion end after it's over. I think it's been great to the last number of months that probably the change in philosophy from some like James McCollum approach and I would say how he's trying to get these scoops and suppose he's getting more option than he used to have in the white ball game.
Do you think as well? The Warriors that's the shortage of bowlers. Wilson's a hamstring injury and made into the team. Gates proven expensive with his seam bowling. He also is going to be cast around it, but it is big celebration. For West Spears from the home crowd, that's a big wicket. McCollum falls for 11. Not going to happen at the moment. Again.
Well, putting knockers in the first and then poor Nolan Slump had more because it looked off bat like he got more. But they had Brian taking a relation himself back the page off there, bowling back against us there.
And a really big through at the end. Well, he's in and can't keep there on the captain. Good back from team at the end after really had a beat in only 1 second. It just turned out the best full festival of 3. No real runs from with the bat last weekend and just seemed like struggling to get going a little in the 20 format.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed with this weekend last September. Just the sort of volume runs he'd be coming out stumped and once a score. T20 cricket can just change so quickly. Just a couple of boundaries early on in an innings can completely change. See how your game. Centre will be going. Your positive start can lead to good innings.
For me, something he did do too often. Really took a little while to get going down in Pembroke, but he'd be pleased with that as we see sunshine coming across the ground for the first time. If you're just joining us for the first time today, this is the second T20 festival in Breedy in the northwest of Ireland. It's one of the most beautiful parts of the world. If you ever get a chance to come up to the northwest, the hospitality is second to none. Put on a great show as they always do here today. Some of the club members telling me they were here at 5 o'clock this morning with heaters out because it was torrential rain on Thursday. Great effort from them to get play right from the off. And yeah, you'd have to think could be in for not just a good finish in this first game, but a really good weekend of cricket with hopefully not more rain.
Yeah, so certainly it was everyone involved. Speaking on a contribution about the Trojan work being put in by everyone involved here in Breedy. They love their cricket up here in the northwest. They're brilliant hosts. Hopefully a good weekend in store. Just pushing that one into the leg side for a single. 24 from 15 from him, very hard at this stage of the innings to know what to do. If you're Jeremy Lawler, do you keep attacking, keep taking that aggressive option even though wickets are falling, or do you maybe sit a little bit? Hector just clips that one onto the leg side for a single himself. Feel a lot better getting a couple of singles to get his innings going. Other nights, as you can see there from the screen, the run rate not the issue at the moment. The required run rate well within reach. 2 wickets in the power play will slightly unsettle them, and if they were to lose another one in the next 7 deliveries, they'd have to be behind, as Wasp would indicate.
Good stuff from Hume, this really is. Beautifully bowled. Very effective, very metronomic with his length, reminiscent of a Tim Murda. Here's Graham Hume. So 5 overs gone. Score 38 for 2. Let's take a look at what's going on here. It's the CEO, Visit Derry. Mayor of Derry as well. With all of the paraphernalia around the neck. They're just getting a few photographs taken, and the reason they are here supporting cricket in a big way. A grant gone towards the hosting of the Zimbabwe T20 series, where we'll be back here at this very ground here in beautiful Derry. We're just south of Derry City in Breedy Cricket Club, and this ground will play host to all of those T20 internationals. Really looking forward to those games. I'm sure we'll be bringing you those on our live stream, no doubt, as well. And thank you to both of those gentlemen for their support. Some of the dignitaries here today. As we just see a team bus coming in as well. I wonder, is that the Munster Reds just arriving into the ground? Remember, it's a festival field this weekend. 2 games every day, 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. First game here is the All Northern Derby. The Northwest Warriors, the home side, against the Northern Knights. And the game right in the balance. Harry Tector, the Knights captain, winning the toss, choosing to bowl this morning. Couldn't question that decision. The cricket certainly feels a bit spongy. Awful lot of overnight rain. But the Knights were put to the sword by brilliant batting, particularly from William McClintock and Shane Getgate. A little cameo from Andy McBride as well. He's taken himself out and brought Graham Kennedy into the attack. And immediately we're going to see Kennedy not deliver it, because Harry Tector hasn't even faced a delivery of Kennedy yet. And he's shaping as to what he's going to do. All the fielders are up on the offside, so he's going to try and target that shorter boundary. hit so nearly to mid-off, who's right on the edge of the circle, so he'll get through for a single. You can understand what Tector is going to look to do here, go through the offside predominantly.
Yes, exactly, the shorter boundary that way, and the wind potentially prevailing that way as well, so it is the option. Kennedy as well with his natural turn will be taking it away from the right-hander.
It's almost to mid-on, agonisingly short of Ross Allen. I think you just get a good demonstration of how difficult it is to time the ball. Both those last two deliveries, both hit with no power or purpose.
Yeah, just seemingly sticking in the pitch a little bit, making it quite hard. It's just shown that at a certain length it seems to be quite nice to get through, but just at a good length it has been hard.
Switch hit from Tector has gone straight up in the air. Will Doheney be able to get to it? He will. Tector is going to fall for 3. He went for the full Kevin Peterson switch hit. The reason he was trying to do that is it's the shorter boundary of the ground. He was trying to hit with the spin, but it's ended up looping off a top edge, and Doheney has made good ground. It's the reverse hit, the kind of slog sweep as a left-hander, really. Not a shot you'd see too often in the coaching manual. Tector's gone for 3. The Warriors, they found the third wicket in the power play. Are they going to go on and take the win, extend their lead at the top of the table?
You'd have to think they're well in the box seat now. Tector trying something different. Be disappointed again. Another small score for himself. He was trying to access that short offside boundary. It was an option that he has been able to perfect, certainly at club level of the years for YM. It is a shot he can play. Unfortunately, failing to execute this time around, and the Knights 3 down in the power play, and these wickets are just beginning to add up.
A real disappointment for Harry Tector. A poor weekend by his standards. 8, 3 and 13 with the bat. Sorry, correction, 8, 3 and 18 with the bat down in Pembroke, and he's followed it up with 3 here. It's more the manner of the dismissal that will disappoint him as much as anything.
Jeremy Lawler on strike. They did cross in the air there. So Mark Adair not on strike, the new man.
Big moment this for Mark Adair as well. Elevated up the order. No huge runs last weekend, but signs he's coming back to his full form, that he's wants to show his all-round skills. Beautifully bowled. I think that was the arm ball from Kennedy.
Yeah, well, it's a massive opportunity for Adair. There's no reason why he couldn't play a William McClintock-esque innings. He's got the power, he's got the ability. We've seen it before. Lawler tucks that last ball. Graham Kennedy's over into the leg side for 1. An excellent over from Graham Kennedy. Just 3 runs from it and a wicket in the last over the power play. 6 gone. Knights 41 for 3.
41 for 3, the game in the balance. Andrew, I'll bid you farewell for the moment. I'll pass you over to Peter Gillespie. We'll take you through the next 6 or 7 overs.
Yeah, welcome back to Peter Gillespie in the commentary box, and with your slightly biased Northwest hat on, you must be pretty happy with the situation of the game currently.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeremy Lawler showing really how it should be done. So very, very happy to pick up those 3 quick wickets, especially the big one of Paul Sterling, obviously. Not trying to be too disingenuous for the rest of the night's batting order, but to get him from 1 of 3 balls, it's huge, especially when you're in that in-between score. You know it's a good score, but you still have to bowl well to defend it. Jeremy Lawler's really taken up the mantle now. Cleared some fantastic boundaries, and Craig Young over, and really got them off to a good start. So the 3 wickets have really dragged it back into us now, and the change of Brian Macbeth coming on the ball from the pavilion end.
Yeah, Macbeth coming into the attack. Not in the squad down in Pembroke last weekend. Gets his opportunity today. Jeremy Lawler is in a hard position here, where there's wickets falling around him. He's obviously batted with plenty of intent so far. As a batter in this situation, do you have to just keep going?
Yeah, I think they've obviously made a conscious decision to target the power play, target 2 men out, really try and up the boundary count in those first 6 overs.
Slight misfield from William Porterfield. That's a real collector's item, a misfield from himself down at long on. How's Lawler scamper back for 2?
Yeah, it's almost as if the Knights have really tried to get out ahead of the game and then make the rest of the chase easier, but obviously those 3 quick wickets have put them off just slightly.
Yeah, top edge from Lawler, but it does land safe. Oh, but a chance here, and a direct hit from Graham Kennedy leaves Jeremy Lawler short of his mark. Brilliant fielding from Graham Kennedy on the turn there, short third man, and he's had a brilliant directed. A directed had to be to get Lawler out, and he's caught short of his ground.
Yeah, tremendous bit of fielding with Graham Kennedy. You have to feel unlucky for the bowler. It was a great delivery from Ryan Macbeth, and he spinned it straight up in the air and it dropped in no man's land, and coming back for the second, he was found wanting by a great throw from Kennedy, and that's another huge wicket for the Warriors. 44 for 4, and the game swung again.
Yeah, well, I think even to add further insult to injury for Jeremy Lawler, Rowley Black, who's standing at the pavilion end, has actually signalled 1 short. So I don't think he's actually got a single run for that. I think it is 43 for 4. Lawler looked good for his 28, but caught short by a seriously good piece of fielding. And how often have we seen in white ball format cricket now, how often a good piece of fielding can just change a game, and you feel that piece of play from Graham Kennedy potentially has won this game for the Northwest Warriors. They're certainly well and truly in the ascendancy now.
Well, winning the game remains to be seen, but definitely it's put them back on top again. It's been a bit of a roller coaster game so far. You know, boundaries seem to have come in clusters. When teams have been on top, they've been on top, but then it's swung so quickly. But yeah, fine margins it is, and I'm sure when you look back at the replay, he'll be just short of his ground. A fantastic piece of fielding.
And brings Neil Rock to the crease. Left-hander, young wicketkeeper batsman.
From the Russ production line.
Indeed, 3 from that Rush production line on the pitch currently. Stephen Downey behind the stumps, Nathan Maguire extra cover as well. I haven't seen too much of Ryan Macbeth myself, but seems to bowl a nice kind of back of a length delivery of stock ball, would you say?
Yeah, he's been around the scene a few years now without actually really getting much of a chance. He's a clever bowler. His stock ball is back of a length, hits the seam, but he's not afraid to use his variations, slower balls. And as I say, this is a big opportunity now for him. This is front and centre of a proper run chase. And he's come in, and skipper's obviously entrusted him to do a job. A big opportunity.
It's been an excellent start. He'll be just wanting to get out of his first over without a boundary here, and will do so. Excellent over from Macbeth, just the 3 runs from it, and that wicket. The brilliant fielding from Graham Kennedy for that run out. 7 gone, the Northern Knights 44 for 4.
Yeah, that'll do Macbeth's confidence a lot of good. As you say, getting out of an over with 3 runs is fantastic. Getting out of an over without a boundary, even better. He'll be just glad to get the ball in his hand and get into the game. His first opportunity this year, as you say, didn't go down to Dublin, so to come in and be entrusted so early from his captain, it's a It's a huge pat in the back from him.
Exactly, we're going to see another change in bowling. Andy McBride going to bring himself back into the attack, probably more of a situational play than anything. Kennedy would have been bowling or spinning into Neil Rock, who just liked the slog sweep as well. It's a short boundary out there, McBride spinning the ball away instead. Coming from Mark Adair, there's a hint of hesitation there between the two. Get through for a comfortable single.
Yeah, he's got two left arm spinners at his disposal. He's going to have to use them very cleverly because the ground is predominantly one-sided today. So Andy's going to have to keep his thinking cap on, and I think you're going to see the game evolve over by over. If Mark Adair's another man capable of clearing the ropes.
Sneaking down the leg side there from Andy McBride. I'd say Mark Adair hasn't been overly happy with maybe the weight of runs he scored for the Knights recently. He's an excellent batter with plenty of ability. We know the runs should be there, but no better opportunity than these T20 festivals to get yourself into good nick and score a few runs.
Yeah, he's one of those batsmen you feel if he bats for 40 minutes, he can do some real damage. He can bring a team back into the game. He can take the game away from the opposition.
Good call from Neil Rock there to get through and gets Adair off the mark.
And then McBride using the old spinner's trick of trying to rush through his balls, trying to hurry the batsmen a bit, give them no time to settle. Really trying to put the squeeze on the Knights here.
Seen that a few times today so far. That slightly back of a length ball from the spinner. The spin's big.
Just grips and lips. Very difficult to score.
That one just sliding on a little bit more with the arm. Another very tight over from Andy McBride. Just the three from it. Gets through them in jig speed as well. 8 gone. The Knights 47 for 4, and as you can see on your screen, that required run rate up to 9.5. So very hard position for these two batters. You obviously lost 4 wickets in the first 8 overs. Not as many wickets in hand as you'd like. Yet you still need to be going at that 8-9 running over mark to make sure that that doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah, I think we've seen from the Manhattan in the first innings how difficult it is to get above that 10 and over rate. And when it did happen in the Warriors innings, it happened in small parts. You know, the Knights have been asked to do this now almost for the guts of 12 overs really, and that's a big ask, and squeezing another couple of tight overs in here, that's really going to put huge pressure on the incoming batsmen. You feel there's a moment here where something has to happen for the Knights.
They're slashing that one out to deep cover. You'd have to think the Knights are going to have to try and target a few overs and even try to register a couple of overs that go for maybe 12 or 13, get that required run rate back down into the 8s potentially.
Yeah. And
Good turf.
and two guys at the crease at the moment who are hoping for a big score, and as you say, with Mark Adair and Neil Rock the same, probably haven't got the weight of runs that they would have wanted as yet. So it's an opportunity, it's a challenge, but it's an opportunity for both guys.
It's hard at the moment, it's tricky conditions out there, and Ryan Macbeth not allowing any freebies whatsoever.
He is bowling length, which has been dangerous on this pitch to other bowlers, but he bowls slightly lower, slightly skittier, so you might find it a bit more difficult to get underneath.
Good piece of fielding from Ross Allen with extra cover. That was absolutely belted at him.
Find the middle of the bat there. I think it's one of those shots that if it hadn't hit the fielder, it would have been 4 runs.
Yeah, exactly.
Slightly unlucky there, Mark Adair.
Yeah, not one you really want to be fielding at extra cover, those ones.
Not on a day like this, no, Andrew.
Adair, target straight. That's a big 6 from Mark Adair. It was in the slot from Macbeth again. That slightly more floaty slot length has gone all day today. It brings up the Northern Knights 50, and Mark Adair is going to have to hit a few more of these if the Knights are going to get close.
Yeah, you can see the slight difference in length there. He's just pushed it slightly fuller, and as you say, as a result it floated, and Mark Adair capitalised as you'd expect him to do and got a maximum. Let's put the pressure back on Macbeth.
He's gone for the slower ball. Oh, and Porterfield's put it down. He's put it down at long on. It was a tough chance running in. It's good skills from Macbeth going to his slower ball. Adair didn't time it at all. Porterfield's put down a big opportunity.
Yeah, the slower ball worked there. He just got it slightly higher in the middle, and William Porterfield, the collector's item there again. It was a difficult chance, but it's one that he would be expecting to take, and we'll have to ask how crucial that will be.
56 for 4 after 9 overs tonight. Myself and Peter are going to exit stage left for a few overs, and Andrew Leonard's going to be joined by a special guest.
Yeah, thank you, gents. And special guest is a man we just saw on camera, Mr. Odrin Dunn, the CEO of Visit Derry, just having a few photographs taken. You're very welcome, and glad to have you joining us here in the commentary position.
Great to see you, and welcome to Brady, and welcome to the walled city of Derry.
Yeah, what a special place, the northwest of Ireland. Tell us a little bit about Visit Derry and the tourism campaign to get more and more people up to the northwest.
Yeah, so our role really is as the official tourism organisation for the city of Derry and the wider region. So I think we are a unique historic walled city located in the beautiful northwest corner of the island, and it's our geographical location, as you can see from today, that sets us apart and creates a sort of unique advantage for the place for visitors to want to come and experience it. Our location is unique in that we're the meeting point of the Wild Atlantic Way and the Causa Coastal Route, which was 2 iconic international coastal driving routes. So perfect for those coming to the island and looking to travel around, and also a great base, obviously, to explore all the highlights that we have on offer here.
Yeah, we're about 10 minutes south of Derry city centre. It's a city that's had a huge rejuvenation in the last sort of 5 to 10 years in particular. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, we're a very historic city, but we're really renowned internationally as a cultural city, as the first ever UK city of culture, and also we've used our events as big hooks to attract people to the destination. So some of our big international events are Derry Halloween, and if you haven't been to Derry for Halloween, you should come. It is Ireland's biggest Halloween carnival, and we've actually won international award as the best Halloween festival in Ireland.
Pulled away into the deep by Adair and well fielded out there. Exactly a run of ball at the moment. The Knights are going. They need to get going though. That required run rate for the first time in the match just going above 10 and over. So big task for the Knights from here. It's a city that's famous for its walls, its culture, but specifically its hospitality. Why is that? Why is the welcome just so special up here in the northwest?
Yeah, well, undoubtedly that's the feedback from the people that come and visit us. It's very hard to sell that. We are a very welcome and hospitable place. People just love to talk, and I think that's a unique selling point. And in today's world, people want to engage with you. People want to tell you a story. People want to listen to your story, and I think that's what people take away from the place when they come and visit. They feel that they have connected with the place, and they're getting great engagement from people and learning a lot about the place.
10 overs gone in the chase, the halfway stage of the chase. 101 to win for the Northwest Knights in this, the first game of the second IP20 festival. I'm talking to Mr. Odrin Dunn, the CEO of Visit Derry. Your involvement in cricket, it was due to be for a series that never happened due to COVID, but it's been extended now out to the Zimbabwe series. 3 T20s at this very ground later in the year. You're really looking forward to having the men come up and visit from Africa.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be a great week here in August. We're trying to work on making sure you have the weather for it, obviously. Leave that with us. And hopefully you'll see the sky shining next time you're back. But yeah, delighted to see Zimbabwe come to the city and region in the middle of August. It'll be fantastic just for the profile of the city, and hopefully the viewers will enjoy what they see and take away, and hopefully the next, if they ever come to Ireland, that they'll see that this is the place that they want to come and experience.
Craig Young back into the attack. He'll be one of those men representing Ireland in that Zimbabwe series. And down the track, Neil Rock launches one into the sky, one of the shots of the day. He hasn't tried to overhit that at all, just a hop, a skip and a jump. A massive six smashed down the ground by the left-hander. This is as good a cricket shot as you're going to see, Adrian. What about this?
Fantastic.
Not a huge cricket fan yourself originally, but getting more and more into the game here.
Yeah. All my family live in Australia and they are big cricket fans, so I'm sure they're probably watching this. Say hello to them all in Sydney, and but yeah, a lot of the family play cricket. Hasn't got to me, unfortunately, but maybe now after watching this.
Yeah, look at that for a shot. I think you'd be a bit of a left-handed dasher yourself, would you?
Yeah, I'm left-handed.
I could just tell from the way you set up. New balls please is the call. And Rowley Black just making sure. You can see in the background there the Leinster Lightning just arriving in. They've made the drive up, the team bus from Dublin. And you can see Rory Anders there, Lorcan Tucker, George Dockel, the captain, Tim Tector looking a little cold. The weather in the northwest can be a bit unpredictable. We had a huge amount of rain yesterday, but we had a lovely couple of weeks just before that, didn't we?
Yeah, well, as you know what, Andrew, not too many people come to Ireland for the weather, thankfully. They're coming for other experiences. But you never know. The weather is good many's a day here. So,
what are some of those other experiences, the cultural highlights of Derry in particular?
Yeah, well, really for us, it's about the bars and the restaurants, the social scene, people being able to get out, have a good pint of Guinness, enjoy the great food. We're renowned for our food and hospitality. And we've a lot of recent success, particularly around screen tourism, and the Derry Girls has brought us a lot of publicity internationally as more people have more time to spend on their devices and at home. They've gone to Netflix and it's been really, really popular.
Hugely popular show. It's brought the eyeballs of the world onto Derry for all the right reasons. A slower ball from Craig Young, beautifully bowled. I think that was the leg cutter, and it beats Adair through to the keeper. And it's not just the city itself and all the attractions there, but it's a fantastic place to base yourself, whether you're going up to Donegal or up to the Causeway Coast perhaps as well.
Yeah, as I said, it's just our unique location. We're the meeting point of where the Wild Atlantic Way meets the Causeway coastal route, so within a matter of minutes and a few miles drive you can be in the beautiful hills of Donegal. We're here located at the foothills of the Sperrin Mountains if you want to get outdoors and enjoy walking or cycling. And then the Causeway Coast, the UNESCO Heritage Site, is only an hour's drive away as well. So there's a great range of outdoor activities, and given the current pandemic, we have a great base, small city, but we have a wider social appeal and geographic appeal because of our outdoor offering.
Yeah, it really is a special place. If you've never been here, I would implore you. I'm not just saying this because I've got the CEO of Visit Derry next to me. It's a really special place, as the wide Yorker is punished into the offside by Adair. Good work in the deep, but there'll be plenty of time to get back for two. There's something about the place, it gets under your skin, the northwest, and the hospitality is legendary for a reason. There's been a big food scene develop here in recent years as well. Some Michelin star restaurants and just a great gastronomic cuisine to Derry.
Yeah, and that's come from the a lot of local food producers because of our natural location. Well, that's beef or cheese, and so that's replicated in the local food provenance and in the menus. And we've launched a legendary food brand which sits well with a lot of the restaurants, and that has been a big part of our success over the last particular number of years. And we actually were awarded Destination Delicious in Northern Ireland a few years ago. So
Destination Delicious.
There you go.
I like the sound of that. I'm not exactly sure what that is. 11 overs gone, the score 70 for 4. How difficult has it been through the COVID pandemic, though? Particularly, I'd say last year very tough, but some good stuff coming back with the staycations and lots of probably more Irish and English people are the tourists coming in rather than perhaps the Americans or the Europeans at the moment.
Yeah, it's undoubtedly, it's a global pandemic. It's been impacted us nationally and locally here as well, and we're all trying to get through it. We focused on the staycation market, so obviously a lot of people within particularly the south of Ireland, across Northern Ireland, coming to Derry, and a lot of people would have had Derry on their bucket list to maybe I'll do that sometime, but not quite now. And that's changing as people are restricted in travel and leaving the island. So we're seeing a big pick-up from a lot of the different parts of the south.
And would this traditionally be the people who might be taking their holidays down in Spain, heading down to Portugal, the Costa del Sol or something, and they're saying, no, actually, we can't go right now. Derry's on the bucket list, let's get up there to the northwest.
Yeah, and they're taking a week's holiday out of it and exploring the wider northwest and what the city and wider region has to offer. And that's played really into our hands because it was a tough market to get into and attract people up, because they see it quite similar to other parts of Ireland, but when they arrive here, they see that it is really different and unique. It's back to that hospitality and that people engagement and the food and everything else that comes with it.
We've got viewers from all over the world listening in here. Phenomenal numbers, 10,000 concurrent viewers enjoying the action. Looks like it's going to be a thrilling game. 90 to win, 53 as we see the left arm spin of Ross Allen come into the attack. I want to ask you a couple of little insider secrets. Give me one or two little nuggets of gold that nobody might know, and why would you bring them to Derry? What are those little things that people might not have heard of?
Yeah, I think obviously you're coming for a big part of the experience, and just once you come to the city and region, you'll find the hospitality is our big selling point, and the people and that sort of engagement that you get. So we look forward to welcome people and come and experiencing that for themselves. But I suppose for having a pint in one of the local bars has to be one of the highlights. Maybe Badgers or Pat O'Donnell's, and then maybe a beer experience with the Walled City Brewery, which is quite new. So I'll put that on your bucket list as well.
You might not know this, but there's a phrase, cricket badger, and that's someone who's absolutely obsessed with cricket. They badger out all the information. Badgers is a pub in Derry City.
It is, yeah. One of the finest pints of Guinness you'll find there as well.
Okay, well that could be on the bucket list for me this weekend, as we see Adair attempt the switch hit. Disappointed with himself, you can see wincing in anger. I think that one may be coming off the glove, that's why we've seen it given. As runs, Allen staying over the wicket to the left-hander. You'll see Rock target the shorter boundary of the ground here, the leg side. Look for the big hit there with the wind, of course, as well. And that's why he's hung it outside the off stump and been hit straight down the ground. Really good work in the deep. You've seen him pull off an outstanding run out, Graham Kennedy. That's fantastic fielding. Superb athleticism on show. Looks like the Northwest Warriors probably on top right now, Adrian.
Yeah, they're looking good. Let's hope that they convert for us.
That one is heaved into the leg side. That's the shorter boundary you're going to target. Watch out in the crowd. It's bounced off the asphalt. That's a mighty six all the way. The game is in the balance again. A great little hand this from Neil Rock. Another super shot from the left-hander. What do you think of this one?
Fantastic hit. Is that my car?
I hope that's not your car up that way. Odrin, I thank you hugely for joining us live on air. We wish you well with all your activities, particularly with tourism getting going again, and we thank you for your support of the Ireland-Zimbabwe series.
Thanks very much, and we look forward to welcoming you all in August up to the city and Brady for the match.
You're a gent. Thanks
Cheers.
so much.
Thank you.
That's Mr. Odrin Dunn, the CEO of Visit Derry, hearing all his thoughts about what a special place this is here in the Northwest. And I'm not just saying this, he's actually out of my earshot now, he can't hear me anymore. I assure you, if you do come up to the Northwest, you will not be disappointed. A very, very special corner of the world. And that's where we are for game 1 in the second festival, the IP Festival. Peter, I'm just listening to all the thoughts of why you should come to the Northwest. I know you're from here, you're a bit biased, but it really is a special part of the world.
That is. When you get the weather, no, in all seriousness, it is a fantastic place to come and visit, come watch cricket, come play cricket.
Graham Hume back into the attack. Adair squeezes that away over the offside, off the outside edge. Just as you were off call as well, Peter. This little innings from Rock, just turning the game a bit. Is it coming back into the balance a touch?
It is, and it's been symptomatic of how the match has gone so far. It has ebbed and flowed between both teams. It only takes a couple of boundaries here and there, but that run rate is still up there. And Rock's trying his best to keep it in check.
The required run rate is still up there, 10 and over.
Yes.
So they've got to work with Hume coming around the wicket now to the left-hander. Goes into the leg side. Rock, who has struggled a touch, not with the gloves, he's been really impressive with the gloves throughout the IP50, but maybe as much as anything with the bat, he struggled for opportunity. Seems to have been freed a little bit by the T20 format.
Yes, it's the same with his former clubmate, Doheny. Unusual to see two wicketkeeper batsmen coming out of the same club, vying for the same spot in the club team, provincial team, and then moving to different provinces. But he's in need of an innings like this. He's in need of an opportunity.
Hit over the offside. Going to be work to do in the deep for Shane Getgate. The call is 1-1-1. It's going to be a lot more than one. Definitely be two. They won't quite get back for three. A really powerful arm from the deep. Fine fielding from Getgate.
Yeah, he's really reined that in there. I think he's saved comfortably two. This is a partnership that the Knights have needed desperately. You know, they've fits and starts in this inning so far. These two guys seem to have got the grips of conditions and just building nicely.
Really good execution from Graham Hume right into the block hole. Adair doesn't look like he's found it easy on this wicket, despite the fancy footwear, the bright orange trainers. What do you think of those, Peter?
Not in my day. I know a few senior players and dressing rooms gone by that would have had choice words to say about flashiness, but such is the modern way.
He's a flamboyant player, Mark Adair, talented one as well, but he just found it a little tricky to get going. Over the offside, kind of every time it just looks like he hasn't been able to get any sense of rhythm to this innings.
I would agree, but at the same time, he's enabled Rock to bat the way he is. They formed a good partnership. Sometimes in a partnership, it's just about playing an anchor role, supportive. You know, we lost 4 quick wickets there. They had to put the brakes on somehow, and he's supported Rock nicely here. So, although he's not doing the job, maybe the job he would like to do, he's doing a job.
Over 10 and over required now, though. 75 to win off 42. Let's have a look at the bowling figures, because there's going to be some interesting options here. Solitary over of that's all inexpensive, going for 11. 2 good overs we've seen from Macbeth. Why have we only seen 1 over of Graham Kennedy so far?
Match situation, conditions. You know, there's a strong breeze. You have a left-hander in at the wicket. You have a strong breeze blowing against the ground to the short end. You have to really think, you know, where's the best end? What's the best option from each end? Over by over almost. And Andy's, I think, marshalled the bowlers quite well so far. He's brought himself on in little small periods.
And is that why we're seeing McBride come on here? Much larger boundary to the leg side, the right-hander on strike. But even if the left-hander gets on strike, he'll be hitting against the spin at least.
Absolutely. Smart thinking.
Just a little pause just for a moment. We used to see Andrew White do that a lot in his gather for Ireland. Not as extravagant as that, but just a slight pause for a second, and Adair's happy to punch it into the leg side for 2.
And Andy's not a bowler to give a natural flight like possibly the 2 left armers are. He does skid it on a bit more. He does bowl slightly flatter, and conditions dictate, such as this.
Yeah, really flat, almost speared in, isn't it? There's nothing to work with there. Brian gets across and fields himself.
I think Mark Adair will be thinking, should I play him almost as a seamer? You know, he does have the ability to bowl that big turning ball that sticks.
What do you mean by that, Peter? Play him almost as a seamer?
Because he's bowling so flat and, you know, just almost almost take the spin option out of it, say he's not going to turn it much, so I'm comfortable moving down the ground, hitting out of my crease. But to date he's happy to sit back on his stumps and punch him around, so he obviously doesn't feel like the time to go is just here yet.
How long can you wait? And I suppose this was why it was such a critical over for McBride. He's thinking that if he can get away, get through this over without being hit for a boundary, a little bit like we saw with Adil Rashid, not hit for a boundary in the two T20s, Sri Lanka against England, it just puts the pressure, brings that required run rate even further and further into play.
Yeah, it is a tough ask.
Flatter again, big appeal and given. Adair cannot believe it, but he's been trapped in front. McBride was absolutely certain, and the only question he'll really have had to answer was, did Adair get too far down the wicket? Difficult to tell always from the reversed angle. Certainly looked pretty adjacent, Peter.
Yeah, I don't think it was going to turn much. I think it's hit him. Looks as if it's hit him in line with off. I don't think it was going to deviate too much down the leg side. The question I would have to ask Lenny is, that was a high percentage risk shot there. Was it the shot that he really needed to play to someone like Andy? I know he's coming on with a bit of pace. It didn't seem as if he was looking to play a full-on reverse sweep. It seemed more like a reverse lap. Was that the right choice at this stage? It's options really. What's his game plan?
Adair falls for 23 from 28 deliveries, just a solitary boundary, which was a 6 in that innings. And yeah, the biggest part of the question you're asking there, Peter, is particularly with 2 balls left of McBride's spell. He's their star bowler, their most effective, their most efficient bowler. Do you not just try and punch 2 simple singles and then really go after the 5th, 6th bowlers of the Warriors?
Absolutely. I think he did choose the wrong option there. I think down the ground, just moving things around, it's probably the better play.
Leon Pretorius in at number 7 for the Northern Knights. And that gets us to the end of the 14th over. It's going to be 70 to win from 36 deliveries that remain. The Warriors, for me, Peter, have been really impressive. Not just today, but throughout their entire T20 campaign so far.
They have. I was speaking to the coach Gary Wilson there, and I was telling him he was getting a lot of support for his new brand. As we see Get coming into the attack from the pavilion end.
It's the 7th bowler to be used, Peter. Is this a change in tactic? Are we not going to see Ross Allen again?
Possibly not. I think while Neil Rock's at the crease, I think he's a dangerous option. He's already seen what he can do hitting straight down the ground. So he's obviously turned to Get who hasn't got a lot of bowling, but he is an experienced bowler, but he hasn't got a lot of bowling. Obviously trust him to come on in this situation and do a job for the team.
Gitgate's been expensive when he has been used, though, so maybe just a chance. You can see with Brian, I thought you described it really well, what point of the game is at, and that is modern 2020 cricket, isn't it?
It is modern 2020 cricket. A lot of decisions made on the fly.
As a bowler, you just have to be ready. It's not like the old days where you'd be given your 6 deliveries to warm up prior and you've got room for a loosener. You've got to be ready to go from the first ball of your spell, just like Getgate is here in the 15th over of the innings.
And I think a lot of these guys know that now. They're very, very aware of modern cricket. Shane's obviously got the nod. Maybe not too long ago he's come in, he's delivered a slower ball, back of a length first ball. He's on the money. So that can tell you for himself how ready these guys are.
Remember, this is essentially a shootout to go to the top of the table. If the Knights can get over the line, they'll move past the Northwest Warriors. They would advance to 12 points, go above the Northwest Warriors, who are currently on 9. But the Warriors looking to extend their advantage at the top of the table, and that is tennis ball bounce there, to say the least. Almost a serve from Neil Rock into the leg side.
Yeah, that was a slower ball. I think we've come a long way from the first match of last week's festival, where the Northwest really put the Knights to the sword. They won that game quite comfortably, and when you can see these are 2 teams now that are top of their game.
Quite comfortably.
Quite comfortably.
Chased it in 11 overs, Peter.
Yeah.
I think it's about as comfortable a T20 win as you've ever imagined.
It was the only bonus point victory of the weekend, so yeah.
There was actually two. The
Don't-
Leinster
oh,
Lightning
yeah,
did
no,
get the
that's-
bonus
yeah,
point
that's
against the
right.
Munster Reds in the
I don't
first
wanna-
game.
I don't want to brag too much. You know, there's still a long weekend and still another festival to go. So just quite happy where my team's sitting at this position of the proceedings.
Peter Gillespie, a staunch Northwest Warriors supporter as always. Good work from McBrien in the deep. Nice to see some sunshine coming across the ground as well. It is quite cold and blustery without it.
It's bathed in sunshine, Lenny.
Bathed.
It's bathed. I haven't had too many games here at Brady myself where you've played in full sunshine for the full match. You do get the full range of weather up here, but when it's out like this, it's beautiful.
Explain to our viewers at home, this is the new Breedy ground, of course. There was an older ground, but this has been very much cut into the side of a hill. Beautiful views across to Donegal as well.
Yeah, the old ground just sits behind us, and it was a big move, a bold move to come up here and build what essentially as a complex. They play soccer in the winter up in the top pitch. They play cricket during the summer. There was possibility of a hockey pitch there, but they have a fantastic international standard ground here now with facilities to match, and the club's really thriving because of it.
Hit down towards Andy McBrien. He'll have work to do. Brilliant from him. Watch that so carefully just on the bounce. Yeah, and it's not just the outdoor facilities, some great indoor lanes as we get to the end of the 15th over. In fact, one ball to come because of the wide.
Yeah, and it's been a good over so far. He's really kept them in check. Yeah, the indoor facilities are fantastic, on a par with North County, where a lot of the indoor training would have been done previously back in my day. So
Another change up from Getgate, and the seventh bowler has worked, and it certainly worked in terms of keeping things under control for the Northwest Warriors. 6 singles and the wide coming from it, so 7 off the over, 15 gone, 98 for 5.
yeah, Warriors really trying to turn the screw here on the Knights, just giving them absolutely nothing in that hitting zone. Getgate, a very intelligent over there, used his variations of pace well, kept the ball back as far as he could, and I think it's really just putting another nail under the coffin as we see a change again from the Mason Road end. Ryan Macbeth comes back on, affectionately known as Turf.
2 overs, none for 12 for Macbeth so far. Tell us a bit about him in terms of his performances in club cricket in recent years.
Well, he comes from a good cricketing pedigree. The Macbeth family from St Johnson, they have family ties through Roy Torrance, through Brigade, and then a few years back he decided to further his career. He was going to move from St Johnson, who were at that stage predominantly playing championship cricket. He moved to Brigade in the hope of progressing his Warriors career, and that's proved to be the case. He's played with some very, very experienced cricketers there at Brigade, Johnny Thompson, Andrew Britton, and it's definitely helped his game. It's improved in the last couple of years. And certainly his bowling, his back of a length hits the deck, and as you've seen earlier, he uses his variations when he needs to. But he's really progressed, and he's stepping up to the mark here so far today.
Yeah, one of those variations I think on offer there. Not express pace by any stretch of the imagination.
No, he's not. He does hit the deck, but not at anywhere near the pace that some of these guys would be used to. So maybe that's working to his advantage. And then when he bowls the slower ball, it is a lot slower again.
Of course, he'll have the protection for the right-hander on strike with the big leg side boundary, and be the same plan again for the Warriors. If they can get through the over without conceding boundaries, that's all they need right now, and they nearly get more than that because it loops off a leading edge. That was the full pace delivery from Macbeth, and I think it just surprised Pretorius a little.
Yeah, just held in the pitch there slightly. He turned his bat a bit quicker than he thought, and lucky for him, the leading edge dropped safely. But as you rightly said, Lenny, every over now without a boundary is really, really a big feather in the cap of the Warriors.
Goes outside the off stump, and that's really good bowling. The reason he's doing that is it's probably no more than a 45-yard, 50-yard hit to the leg side for the left-hander. So he's hanging it out towards the wide line on the offside. Rock can't get it away.
Which we've seen Georgeson do very well for the for the Knights. You got to play your percentages now, Lenny. Keep the safe option. Take it away from the sharp boundary. Make them hit where you want them to hit.
Grunt of aggression from Macbeth upon the release. They will get 2 because with the bigger boundary on the leg side, and the errant throw from Getgate, that was risky. Could have been big overthrows, but Doheny gets a glove on it.
You see a lot of this in modern T20 cricket. Guys out in the boundary on the big side, if anything drops just around the disc area, the immediate call is 2. They're so tuned in that they're gone, and it's comfortable in the end.
Knights need more than 2 a ball though at the moment. Just strays down the leg side this time. That was probably the delivery he was looking to for the left-hander. Searching for the into the pads, the leg stump block hole Yorker there.
Yeah. He's gone like a lot of the Knights bowlers. He's favouring the full option. He's not trusting bowling length on this wicket.
Finds that block hole that he was looking for, and are we going to see a run out? We're not. I thought he was going to go with the Sam Curran option and take the right boot in it and try and kick it onto the stumps, but he's athletically gone for the pick up and dive. A big smile from Macbeth. We love to see that.
I think he
the
knew.
Photographer in the background just checking, was that going to be out? I think it was.
I think he knew he was well ahead of the batsman there. He probably actually maybe could have picked it up and ran a bit closer to the stumps. As you say, the boot was an option, but as it is, Pretorius remains at the crease. But another dot. The run rate goes up again.
It's T20 debut today for Macbeth. 2 first-class games and 1 list A game prior to today. Having a fine T20 debut. It's really good bowling. Great over because 7 runs coming from it. It's not going to be enough. Leaves the equation at 56 to win from 24 deliveries remaining. Could have an interesting decision for the player of the match. I'm going to go out and get my thinking cap on for that. I'll leave you with Andrew Blair-White for what could yet be a thrilling finish. Peter.
Thank you very much, Lenny. You're right, you have a bit of thinking to do there on the player of the match. Warriors firmly on top here, as Lenny said. 56 required off 24 deliveries, as we see another change at the pavilion end. Craig Young comes back into the attack, and Andrew Blair-White has joined me now. Andrew. Oh, it's Shane Getgate, my apologies. Andrew, how do you find the situation?
Yeah, the Northern Knights well up against it. You have to think these 2 overs from this end of the ground are going to have to go the distance if they're going to have a chance from here. 56 from just 4 overs. Pretorius has struggled to just get going. It's been a hard pitch though.
It's really not the type of pitch or conditions where you can just come into the crease and just pick it up from ball 1. You know, you've seen a lot of the guys who have got going today have taken their time to get in. And an excellent delivery there from Getgate. He's gone wide and full. Left Pretorius swinging widely, and a dot ball pushes things further towards the Warriors.
Yeah, it's excellent bowling from Getgate there. It is outside that wide line, but Pretorius is shimmying over a little bit. But he's got one out of the screws this time. Getgate that could well have endangered a car there, I suspect, because that has gone straight in the front window. I don't know whether there was a crash or not, but Nathan Maguire had his hands on his head.
And as we've seen consistently throughout this match, length ball is the ball to target. And you can't afford to miss out on anything now at this stage of the game, such as the run rate required.
Good blow from Pretorius. Oh, it's a good catch from Ross Allen. An extra cover.
really good
Shane
catch, Baz.
Getgate. Good bowling from him. Targeting that wide, fuller delivery. Pretorius trying to flay this one away over the offside, but Ross Allen's taking a very good catch.
Wide was slight understatement there, was almost off the wicket, Andrew. Very intelligent bit of bowling there from Getgate. He's obviously kept his eye on the batsman the whole way throughout the delivery. Pretorius moved very, very early and very wide, and he just simply followed him, kept it out there, and he slapped it straight to Ross Allen. The covers took a good catch, and another wicket falls for the Knights.
I think that ball almost pitched outside the cut strip from Shane Getgate.
I think where he hit it was certainly outside the cut strip.
But it brings Ross Adair to the crease, and if ever there was a man to perform a minor miracle for the Northern Knights, it might well just be Ross Adair. He can hit a fierce blow. It's going to be a big ask from here. 50 required for the Knights from just 21 deliveries. But the only good thing is with a right-left hand combination, you are constantly going to be able to hit to a short boundary.
Yeah, and they're going to need to maximise every one of these 21 remaining deliveries if they're going to get anywhere near this target.
Sliced away off the outside edge from Adair there. Unfortunately, doesn't have the chance to see himself in here for a few balls.
Straight away showing his intent. He's not going to hang around here. He's not going to die wandering. But it's been a good comeback from Shane Getgate after being put under a bit of pressure with that 6. He's taken a wicket and he's gone for a single.
That's well bowled from Getgate. Very short to Rock there, not giving him any chance to go straight, which is probably the option that Rock wants. It's a massive leg side boundary. Would that be a wide if you'd let it?
You'd almost think leaving that would be a wide, but it's so slow, and then the instinct takes over from the batsman that they play a shot at it. If they can get close to it, then they'll take a chance at it.
Flayed away from Ross Adair. Looks like it's just going to be another single though. That's another good over for the Northwest Warriors. Just 9 from it from Shane Getgate, and that wicket of Pretorius. 47 required from 3 overs for the Northern Knights. Nearly 16 and over now.
Yeah, and I think, as you said earlier, a minor miracle is the best way to describe what's needed from here on in for the Knights. Nothing's impossible, but I think definitely improbable.
Definitely, especially when you're seeing Craig Young coming back into the attack from the Mason Road end of the ground. Very hard to know. Ross Adair here is going to probably have to try and target straight, maybe over extra cover.
Yeah, seems like the sensible, the smart play. But it's such, you say 16 and over, it's such an astronomical run rate in difficult conditions. But Andy McBride taking no chances. He's taking his time, getting his field set. He's obviously